Hello there and welcome to a new episode of Tapierian Industries, a show in which I, Mrs. Tapier, take real, or supposedly, well, proposed World War II jets and recreate them in Kerbal Space Program. And today we are going to make the Gloster Meteor Mark III. A plane that actually existed and actually has been flown. So, well, let's head straight to War Thunder. Alright, we are now in War Thunder, and here we have it. And I already see some stuff I'm going to have to take a look at, because see how low the gear is and what's the position. So apparently the center of mass should be right around here somewhere, maybe a little lower, seen as where the engine is placed, because the engine is really like heavy. And I think we're just going to use the usual cockpit, the nose cone. I'm not quite sure which one yet. This one may be a little stubby, whatever. Anyway, that is going to be, I don't think we're going to be able to do that, and just going to have to use something over there, maybe a little tricky. Alright, so all of this doesn't move right here, only the top and the bottom. Where's the fuel? Right around here. So yeah, I think my idea of where the center of mass should be is right, is correct. Only this is going to be a little problem. Further shape of the wing, alright. Control surface over here, alright. I think we're going to do a normal fuselage over there and just then the tail. Maybe two on top of each other in a slightly different angle, so you have like talk and talk, yeah. Anyway, I think that's it. So let's go back to KSP then. And welcome to the hangar, and what you can here see is actually me just building things in pieces and not talking over it, so I can speed it up and maybe it will be more fun to watch. Anyway, what did you just see? We just changed the nose cone to a longer one, and we're just placing some fuel on it. And we've here got the tail, but actually it's a little too thin, so here comes the great technique of just placing it right here and then offsetting it to where it actually is like nice to look at. And this isn't gonna work, Thomas. It's not gonna work. It's visibly working right now. Yeah, it works. Good enough at least. And there you go. But it's not completely ideal yet, so I'm going to turn it a little to make it a little thicker. Don't worry, there will be a tail fin later on, so which we're making right now, that will actually go through it, so there won't be a gap, which is nice. There you go, putting it right through. There is actually a little space right there where actually comes something out. Here doing the tail fin, which has a nice little curve to it, and which is actually really difficult to recreate in Kerbal Space Program with normal parts. Well, I mean, like, not fiddling with parts. So I had to do it. I'm terribly sorry, I just had to. And we're turning it in and turning it up, and no, it's not great yet. Yeah, that appears about right. Not entirely, maybe, but I think I'm done with it. Yes, I am. Set everything to yaw and place the beam in the middle, but I'm going to have to place it a little different because I'm not entirely happy with it, and it still moves a little strange, but oh well. Back to the tail fin. Yeah, it actually does stick out a little, but more the middle part sticks out, not wingy bits itself. Anyway, we're going to get ourselves some elephants. And yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Yes. And I wasn't completely happy with how long the thing was, so I decided to add an extra fuel tank. And here we're going to make a prototype for the engines. Going to use the offsetty thing again, because it doesn't really have like the engine exhaust. It has a sort of cone, and they are making this cone. And here you see me putting that extra thing on it, but it later on when I actually tried it, it didn't work, which is a shame. And it was due to the extra cone. I'm going to have to undo it and actually make it perfect, because I like things to be perfect. There you go. Now you have the engine thingy. Almost. Just some fiddling with it still, and it produces smoke, but it doesn't actually produce any thrust, which is a shame, really.
Hello Dan, sorry, I could not hold myself back and suddenly accidentally built the whole thing. Oh well. I was actually kind of planning on maybe like tearing it up a little, tiny piece by tiny piece, just like doing it in reverse, but nah. I think it is kind of straight for itself. It talks for itself. Anyway, the gear is kind of really low on this plane. It really is. Like, wow. Oh, and by the way, I had to change the engines. The previous setup did produce smoke, but it didn't produce any thrust, because the thing on top, this little bugger, stopped everything from being able to thrust. And hopefully this, yes, it's back on both sides. Alright. Anyway, this thing kind of has these tilted wings, which are kind of important if you have your gear so low to, well, such short gear. Because, well, if you would land plane perfectly straight, it could only have like a really tiny angle at which it could land. But now if you would up those wings a little, the space kind of between the ground and the wing kind of doubles, so you have a little more leeway on not landing straight on perfectly and everything. Anyway, I sadly had to add these metal bars right here, because otherwise the thing would just turn out of control. It did. It was terrible. Didn't like it. Of course, because this is a recreation, I had to do it. Otherwise I would have maybe like put some extra fuel in the nose. Just, well, that actually has a purpose, and this is just weight. So, well. But there's a Meteor who has that stuff in the nose, so maybe I would make that one once, and I would be able to delete these over here. But then I would also have to make the wing short, because it has shorter wings. By the way, I'm really sad that there isn't any part in which you can actually make some sort of rounded tip, because there really isn't. There's no way of you making it, apart from these wingy, elephants. And oh well. Anyway, I think that's most of the stuff. I had to the wings are pretty close to the ground. Might be able to make him a little closer to the ground, but I don't think I'm going to. But I am going to do something else. It's not completely attached to the wing. Now it is. See, it's not completely attached, but now it is. So now it's alright. I think that's it. I'm quite proud of it. Because of all of these dodgy shapes that the thing has. Sadly the cockpit, there's no way of really making it into the thing that it actually is. No real way whatsoever. And if you're going to use this one, I applaud you, you made a big mistake. Because it, well, maybe it looks better, but no, I really don't like that cockpit, even though you can actually see out of it in IVA, but still. I guess that's it. And here we are, on the runway. If everything is alright, this thing should actually be right on point, but I've kind of given up on it because, well, this guy is not in exactly in the center with not exactly on the right place. But hey, look, it is straight. You know, I kind of wants to veer, but oh well, it doesn't really matter. And it doesn't flip out of control, which is nice, all thanks to these. And it has a really nice turning circle. Anyway, let's put it back on SCS before the fuel changes and it's going to screw everything up. This is also decent. It kind of looks like one piece. Kind of. The best I could make out of it. And I think I'm kind of happy about how I could have actually made these engines, even though I now see that I should actually maybe move them a little, because they're not centered. That is odd. How did I do that? Anyway, I think I'm going to, by the way, make a place where we can actually, I can actually be able to download them. Because who doesn't want to fly in World War II kind of, well, kind of replicas? Because actually do, oh dear, save the thing. Oh, what on earth is that? Where did that come from? Is it an update? Because I can't even see where the mass thing is. Oh, there it is. The thrust, or the direction we're going in. Just probably all messed up because of the thing just going out of control. Oh, that is probably the thing. No, it is not. It can't be. Well, anyway, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you in the next with the next vehicle or aircraft I make. This has been Mr. Tapier, and have fun and take care.